Welcome to another episode of Five Lemons Laughing. I'm Amanda, and I'm here with Melissa, Morgan, and Penny. Drusilla is off living her life, so we miss you.
We do.
Yeah. Today, we're having a mid-year check-in. You know, those bright and shiny New Year's intentions that actually feel kind of far away.
Yeah, like we remember.
Yeah, even if you remember, I'm speaking from a personal experience, we brought them up and I'm like, oh, ouch. So I'm so glad to be reminded of them, taking a look at them again, this halfway point. So we're hitting the pause button. Do I want to keep that? Do I want to double down on that? It's all open. And we're here to walk through that and invite you to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's explore what has been working from our intentions, what doesn't really feel aligned anymore, if we need to recalibrate, and how we would like to live for the rest of the year. We're going to do all of this with clarity and compassion and non-judgment, like Amanda said. I think we all had to be reminded a little bit about what our intentions were. So, yeah. Let's do this.
So who wants to go first? Who would remembers theirs, or we don't have to remember because Morgan pulled them up for us, but who wants to go first?
Well, I just want to interject one thing
before
we
please
get started. So I love Louise Hay, and I followed her when she was alive. She was just, she was my mentor, I'll call it. I even got to hug her once.
Oh,
and got her signature in a book. Yeah. Anyway, she always said, when she came off the stage after she was doing a presentation or doing any work, the first thing she always did is ask herself what worked. So I'm just interjecting that so that we look at what's working in our life so far this year versus what's not working. Because she said, when we first focus on what's not working or what we have, oh my God, we forgot our intentions, all that stuff, then we get more of that. And so I wanted to just invite us all to look at what's working versus, shit, I forgot my intentions.
Yeah.
Oh, Penny, what a great reminder. Thank you. Thank you for reframing this.
Yeah, you're welcome. So who wants to start?
Okay, so what intentions or goals did you set at the beginning of the year? Anybody?
Morgan, you go first.
Okay. I am glad to be reflecting on this because it's fun to remember and to bring it back into the forefront of my awareness. And I'm just going to throw this out there before I forget. So each week, the five of us get together to also talk about the A Course in Miracles lessons for the week. That's not part of the podcast. That's just a separate thing that we do. And I'm inviting us to check in on our intention for the year each week too, just so we can stay focused on it. If we would like.
Great.
That's a great idea, Morgan.
Yeah.
So because I do want this to stay fresh, it still feels very aligned for me and it still feels like a priority. And so I do want to keep it at the forefront of my awareness. So my intention at the beginning of the year, so just as a reminder to our audience, Penny and Amanda led us through a guided process, which you can find on our podcast or on our YouTube channel. It was back at the end of the year. It's one of our lemon squeezes, and their process is guided us through identifying an intention, a gratitude, what we'd like to let go of for the year and what we'd like to step into. And it was really beautiful and really clarifying. So definitely inviting you all to go and check that out. And you can do that at the beginning of the year. You can do it monthly. You can do it as often as you'd like. So the word that kept coming up for me through that process was awe. It's a hard word to say. Right. Awe, AWE, like God is awesome. The awe of God, and it kind of accompanied with a visual of like this childlike innocence and wonder. You know how children are, everything is just magic and new and shiny. And that kind of sense is what I would like to experience and embody. And I think accompanying that is that sense of appreciation, which we were talking about earlier when we were reviewing the lessons for the week. So my kind of reminder statement or intention statement was, I will be reminded of God's awesome presence and creation when I pause to be fully present in the moment. So going hand in hand with that sense of awe and wonder and innocence is presence, which has always been a challenge for me. And I definitely, so if we're celebrating our wins and our progress and stuff, I definitely can feel that I am moving more into a state of presence. I am spending, and what's helping me with that is my pets, because I often used to be multitasking when I was spending time with my pets, like hanging out with them, but reading, or walking with them, but listening to a podcast, or petting them, but watching a movie. And now, like, I will like intentionally just sit with them and just pet them and love on them and just be with them and not be doing anything else. And, it may just be for a few minutes here and there, but I do it mindfully and intentionally throughout the day. And it is a presence practice. And, we got to start somewhere. That is a big like step for me. So, and that is naturally going to inform and influence other areas of my life as well. So just being willing to take those pauses in the day and not be multitasking and trying to accomplish 12 things at once is a big step for me.
Let's celebrate Morgan. Yay!
Yay! So through their process that Penny and Amanda led us through, the thing that I identified as what needed to go, what I needed to let go of to support my intention was busyness and doingness, and also obsession with the past. We all kind of can get stuck on ruminating on the past or letting the past inform our present. So, but the busyness and the doingness plays right hand in hand with what I was just sharing about the present. So I feel like I am on track with my intention, even though it hasn't been at the forefront of my awareness. I still would like to embody more of that awe and that childlike wonder and that presence. But I made a month or two ago, I made a little kind of bucket list of fun things to do. And I've been like keeping them not as like a, you have to do this, not as like a anything to hang over my head or stress me out or anything, but I made it like really colorful. And it has things like, going to a baseball game and exploring a new trail, going camping, going to the lake, or, just all kinds of fun random things. And it's just like trying intentionally to incorporate fun things like that, so that because I can get very like structured and like, I got to get this done, got to get this done, got to get this done. And then all the fun stuff gets pushed to the back burner. So just intentionally trying to incorporate more of that stuff into my life. But you can also find awe in the mundane, in the ordinary too. So anyway, it's all still a work in progress.
That's amazing, Morgan.
That is so awesome.
Thanks. Who wants to go next?
I will. So thanks, Morgan. That was great. I think I remember the whole awe thing, like just being in awe. Yeah. It reminds me of what we were just discussing we were doing a recording for A Course in Miracles, and it reminded me of the appreciation rather than just gratitude. And I love that too. Like just really appreciating what's in our life, as in having awe for it. I think that's cool. Okay, so mine was authentic connections. And I'm not sure when I like added on to this, but I kind of switched it over to deep connections, living in beautiful places and meeting interesting people. I think for me, it was part of like my going global thing. And obviously, I have been working on it because I do live globally now. And I went to an amazing festival this weekend, and there I met people who live all over the world, many places, like people that have homes in London and Bali and Switzerland, and do really, really interesting work. And I was starting to get a little stale with where I was living in Colorado, and now just having it be new it allows me to see beautiful places and living there all the time. So yes, I've met interesting people. I've been living in beautiful places. And I have been doing the deep connections, authentic deep connections. But I notice I still have some of those old tapes that come up that go, um, the just judgment, self-judgment. Did I say the right thing? Are they going to like me? Would they like me if they knew that I don't brush my teeth every day? I'm just throwing that out there. But whatever it is, like you just like whatever, like it just starts, the spiral starts happening. Like, you know, and then, but what's really weird is that I then step into, how am I going to maintain this relationship? Like, how much time is it going to take? Do I want to do this? And it's not like what's in it for me. It's, is this going to be work? Which I find interesting, because one of the things I also said about authentic um, connection is not controlling it and just letting it be divinely fed and divinely led. And I am literally reminding myself of this at this very moment, that I need do nothing. Right. And I don't need to control it, and I don't need to get in the future with it. I can just appreciate the fact that I met some amazing people. And I am So I'm just outside of like Stonehenge, Glastonbury, in Somerset region of the UK. And yesterday we picked up like a spiritual map of the area, and there are all these ley lines and old, not official temples or anything, but places that people came for generations for spiritual um, community or for rituals and that kind of thing. And I'm just like, I appreciate it so much, and I'm so grateful. And so it's just kind of all coming together, and I just don't need to control it. So, um, yeah, so that's where I am. Just more to come.
Well, I love it.
It's beautiful, Melissa.
Yeah, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Did you go over what you're letting go of? Besides control?
Just that control and that judgment, and like just allowing it, like, and those old like unworthiness tapes. I don't need to do that. I'm like, love it or leave it. I don't know.
When you were talking, Melissa,
hell, yes, hell no.
Yeah.
What was that, Morgan?
If it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no.
Totally. Yeah. What was that, Amanda? You also said something.
Yeah, that it's interesting. Like the mind, like when you say deep, authentic relationship, the mind does want to hold on, like unless this relationships last 100 years, right? They're not deep and authentic, but that's what's to label. I like the way that you didn't say it like this, but like just embracing when you met them, it was deep and authentic. It doesn't mean that it has to move further. Like labeling it takes away from actually the deep connection that existed.
I have another little story on that. And that you're totally right. And I don't need to manage it. Right. Like, so we had this really great, deep, authentic connection with a woman in the store yesterday we were in Glastonbury's total. It's like going to Berkeley or like Eugene, Oregon. It's so hippie. And, like there's goddess shops and warlock shops, and it's so cool. So we go into this shop of rocks and different crystals and rocks, and my kids have loved crystals and rocks since they've been really little, and I've been really little, I guess. And so we go in, and there's this great lady. She's a younger woman. She's got just these dreads that she's got pulled back, and all these great crystals on and stuff. And we just started talking about me being a Pisces, and she's a Pisces, and my son's a Pisces, and one of my best friends that's here, she's a Cancer, and my other son's a Cancer. And so we all got in on this conversation about being water signs and how great water signs are. And it was so deep and authentic and lovely. And we walked out of the store and I got I mean, who knows if I'll ever see her again, but it was something that I can see I really appreciated. It really opened my heart up, and it was just great. And it was like temporary.
So beautiful. I've definitely
Yeah.
Mhm.
too.
Nice. Yeah.
You want to go next, Penny?
I was thinking you could go, Amanda.
All right, I'll go.
Okay.
So, again, I'm going to say it again. Penny, thank you for the reframe, right? Like what positive things have happened. Because my intention was to allow wholeness in every part of my life. And I'm glad you guys went a little bit before me because it gave me a chance just to hit pause. And um, it has been shaking out, like seeing wholeness um, through forgiveness work, like really, consciously all the work that we're doing the Course in Miracles lessons, it's about wholeness. So all year I have been working towards it. Although I forgot the word, I forgot that my intention was wholeness. And at the same time, meditate on it every day. And I really am seeing that connection. Like in my dreams last night, I had two separate things that came up in my dreams um, that manifested today. To me, that is wholeness, right? That wholeness. I have connections in my life, right? That I don't see people every day, but like the connections are strong. Like with my one of my cousins, um, I reached out to her. I never talked to her. I reached out to her and she was thinking about my mom at the same time. Those are like real, I always ask God to prove himself or itself or the universe. Like I like to see those things in life and just my sense of satisfaction with life.
Mhm.
That my overall life satisfaction, that is wholeness to me. Like being able to feel connected to um, the ancestors of the land especially where I'm living now. They're just so clear. They're just so, the veil is really thin. And I'm enjoying that connection. And I'm glad we're reviewing this because one of my cues was the wind, and the wind is usually blowing here. But that were just the reminder that that is wholeness, because the same wind, if I like to think like this is the same wind that was blowing when Jesus was walking the earth. This is the same, our atmosphere is the same since the creation of the planet. This wind was in Africa. This, what I feel, and that's wholeness to me. Although I'm not an air sign, but I feel it. Um, and my gratitude statement was about wholeness because of the connection that I feel. I said to my family, isn't that interesting? I always don't feel that. I mean, I feel that connection to my husband, but I always don't feel it to my extended family, um, my birth family, but, extending it out like to family, not necessarily my family, just to family. Um, what I'm letting go of is judgments. And I really have been just working on that on a daily basis, letting go of all judgments, letting go of all judgments. And I remember a long time ago when someone says, when you do this work, you just become more peaceful. You don't become more reactive. It's just kind of like a steady thing. And I remember thinking, God, that would be boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be boring. And I have noticed when something comes up, my reaction is different. And I'm like, oh my God, that is me just stabilizing out. And I'm becoming more comfortable in that peace, right? So it's not actually boring. My mind is labeling it peaceful now instead of boring, which is just a slightly different verbiage, but it's powerful.
Mm.
Yeah. And what I am embracing is the knowledge that we all are connected. And again, through doing the work, the workbook lessons, that's what it's all about. It's the connection. It's my healing is your healing. It's the world's healing. And that is connection. And all the work that I do on myself is for the benefit of not only myself, but the world. So
Beautiful.
yeah, thank you for that. I'm so glad we're
Yeah.
to bring it
Me too.
back in the
I just want to
forefront.
reflect, Amanda, that I can see you leaning into this intention and growing into this intention throughout the year.
Oh,
Me too.
thanks.
I can witness it, bear witness to it.
Thank you.
And
Oh,
your wind just arrived at my place.
yay.
It just got
Yay.
here.
Isn't that amazing to think about? Right?
Mm.
It's amazing to think about that.
Yeah.
It's like, I love, like, one of my favorite things is like when the weather map is up, but they show the wind directions, right? Where the wind is coming from. When you see a big global or,
Mm-hmm.
usually they don't show the globe, but like the region here in New Mexico, they show like when the wind is coming off the Pacific or, through the Gulf,
The Gulf of
just the
the
Gulf.
Gulf.
It's coming from the
I
Gulf.
agree.
Yeah. Or
Beautiful.
wherever. Yeah,
Yeah.
because certain times of year you can smell the rain coming and it's coming from the Gulf. It's just, I can smell it. And which is the Gulf is like 3 or 4 states away, but you
Yeah.
can still you can still smell the rain, the moisture coming, probably because it's so dry here. So it's different. It's just the absence of moisture, and moisture is stark.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Penny, let's hear what you got.
So beautiful, everyone. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So I did a lot of writing about in the beginning of the year because I knew we were doing all this. So I took every opportunity and everything that I was doing to write about what I wanted more of in my life in 2025, and what I feel like if money or fear wasn't a thing, like what would I do more of? And I found all those journal entries here. And the very first one that I just want to share with you is that I loved this January 1st. I am open to the endless possibilities of this year. I just love that. I put it in my journal because I just loved it. So my intention, which I forgot about too, is to allow myself to be present in every moment of my everyday life. Oh, of my everyday life. Oh God, I didn't even read that right. To be present every moment of my everyday life, which is, sometimes, yes. So that has been a really good thing. I was going to go into what's not working with that. Look at that. I was just going to go there really fast. And then I thought, no, Penny, you just stop yourself. So I can say that I am more present at times, and other times I'm not. And that's okay. It's a process for me. I know that all this work is a process for me. But I also love, and I do at our company, I do a lot of positive intelligence PQ training. And one of the PQ processes is to wiggle your toes to get yourself present. Like in Al Anon, they say when you're washing the dishes, wash the dishes. When you're buttering your toast, butter your toast. When you're brushing your teeth, brush your teeth. And that's, getting out of autopilot is one of the things that I've been really working on. So like when I get out of bed, feel my feet walking to the bathroom, feel my hands washing, with the water, washing my face. And so that's definitely helping me be more present in my everyday life. And so, because I have, autopilot's been one of the things, got to get her done, got to move quick from one thing to the next. And and I'm starting to get, tired of that and tired. So, So, the thing that I needed to let go too is that I needed to let go of judgments as well. I've learned that I'm a resentment making machine, and that all comes from judgments. Or I should reframe that. I was a resentment making machine. I know that I'm interrupting that more and more every day. I have a journal entry here that was from January 3rd, and my husband was asking me to help him with something. And normally I was in something else. I was like in a class, and we were in a writing session. And normally I would have said, I am in a class. What the hell? Don't interrupt me. But instead I journaled about how I calmly and was breathing and stayed centered and helped him with what it was he needed to do. And then I went back to what I was doing. He said that I wrote that he said I made him more stressed, but I didn't feel like I did that. I felt like I was pretty calm and centered.
Hey, whatever his experience is not your responsibility.
Exactly. I felt like I made great progress on January 3rd. And, and I mean, he's my greatest teacher. And I know that if I, it's like if I can stay in my loving heart, if I can stay centered and present in the moment, I'm going to start over again, delete that. When I stay in my loving heart, when I stay present and centered in the moment, everything just goes a little bit better. And if I can stay calm and peaceful as I'm doing it, everything goes a little bit better. And I'm also noticing, even just last night, that I don't have to take on other people's stuff because I've been really, I did that really well for so many years. And so last night I had another example where I didn't have to. And pretty soon other people snapped out of their shit that they were in, And
You're
so
not engaging or not
yeah,
getting
yeah,
involved.
yeah, not engaging, just going about my life, living my life and acting. Well, maybe, I don't know, maybe we need to unpack this in another episode, but acting like, well, I just didn't take it on. I decided, yeah. So I acted as if, how do I want to say this? It was just like I decided I was going to be happy. And because I wasn't unhappy and the other person was a little unhappy, but I decided I'm just going to be happy. I'm going to go about and do the things. I'm going to talk about things that are going on with me. And that's what I did. And pretty soon the other person snapped out of it. So yeah. So the thing that I wanted to embrace was letting people live life the way they want to and not thinking I know what's best. And I've had some great examples of that this last weekend when my daughters went on this hiking trip and I thought I needed to save and rescue them and I didn't. And they're still alive. So, people get to live life the way they want to, and it's not up to me to decide how that is. So
even in that example you just provided before about your whoever it was that was unhappy, like letting them be unhappy if that's what they want, that's a perfectly fine choice too. And we often feel like we need to make other people happy.
Well, and also I've uncovered too that I feel like I'm responsible if they're not happy and I need to do something about it. But I'm learning that it's not my job. And I love Mel Robbins' book, Let Them. So I'm just going to let them be whatever they're being because I always think that, well, I must have did something that caused them to not be happy. So I better correct it. But that's not true. It's not true. So I'm just going to let them live life the way they want to. And I'm going to live life the way I want to. And it'll be beautiful. It is beautiful. Yeah.
That is a big, big lesson, is to let people be who they are, not try to fix or change them, and not even seeing them as needing to be changed. That's that's next level stuff right there. Yeah.
Totally.
What did you say, Morgan?
The whole episode. I think that's a great episode.
Yeah.
Hey, we could do a let them episode.
Let them episode. Yeah, exactly.
Tag, what's her name?
Let's ask Mel Robbins if she'll come on.
Mel Robbins, yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, do any of our listeners have an in with her? Okay, so anything for the rest of the year, since we're moving into we're in the second half of the year. Gosh, it's gone by so fast. Anything new that's coming up that you identify that you'd like to let go of or release for the second half of the year, or anything more that you'd like to add to your intention or call in for the second half of the year? Any edits or revisions or modifications to your intentions and goals and things?
What's coming up? Those are great questions, Morgan. What's coming up for me is like my ego mind. They are tangible, but okay, my mind wants to go to what are some things that I can measure in my life, right? Like measurables.
Smart goals.
Smart goals. These aren't smart goals.
Well, you could have some sub goals that get you to these bigger
Yeah.
non-tangible goals.
Mhm.
Like for me, it's like getting to bed by 10 o'clock at night so that I get enough sleep so then I can be present for others because I'm not tired, or it's eating healthy, nutritious food. Because when I'm eating healthy, nutritious food that's not loaded with sugar and carbs and stuff, then my brain is more able to be present in the moment. And so I think it's like that's what I'm hearing from what you're saying, Amanda, is
Yeah.
that's some of the smart things I can do, or smart goal things I can do to feed into my overarching goal of being present. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I want to do more of that. I do it, but I'm not as, yeah, I'm a human being. I gotta just remember that. I'm a human being. I don't do it as good as I'd like to and get out of integrity with myself. So I want to actually, that's what I want to do. I want to get into integrity and alignment with who I say I am.
Mhm.
That's what I want more of the rest of the year.
So any SMART goals, Amanda? Did anything come up for you? Should we clarify what a SMART goal is?
Specific, measurable, SMART. It's an acronym. Do you remember what it stands for?
Attainable.
Achievable.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Um,
It has to have a reach, like there's risk in
yeah.
it. And,
Yeah.
and a
And a
timetable.
specific timetable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are SMART goals. Um, I would say, like, for our Morgan mentioned that we're doing a Course in Miracles recording, with the workbook lessons. And mine were first of all, like one of them is my voice, my platform, and my students, right? That was one section. And the other one was being, I don't know if I said physically fit, but having this body be able to handle the vibration, to be able to be healthy, and vibrant, I think is how I put that.
Mm-hmm.
So that does work in with my wholeness in every part of my life. So with that, I'm going to say that those are my, without being time, and, the end of the year is the time measurable. Because like my voice, my platform, and my students, it feels like I'm clearing away all of the judgments and all of the forgiveness. I feel like growing the roots. I think that's a Buddha saying, like there's a Buddha story in there about sometimes you don't see the growth on the outside because your roots are getting stronger. Um,
Under the ground, under the surface.
yeah, under the surface. So I feel like that's what's happening because I am becoming more comfortable speaking my truth and showing up the same and not having to alter my, sometimes I just don't say much when I'm out in public, but not changing my message to fit my audience. So there is that. And definitely feeling more physically fit, like paying attention to my diet, cutting out, like I've already cut out, smoking marijuana every day. I've cut out sugar and processed food. So like I'm taking those steps without much pressure.
Good
So
job,
those are the things
Amanda.
I'm moving forward, which feed into my intention of wholeness.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Melissa, you're
Love
next.
it. Okay. I think my SMART goals would be to say yes. Say yes to people, places, and things, opportunities, synchronicities that happen without having that second little voice going, no, you can't. They won't like you. Da, 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 da. So just taking that next step when I say yes.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, yeah, actionable goal.
Mm-hmm.
Clear, simple.
Morgan?
Okay, let's see. So to experience more awe and to be more fully present, I think what would support me. One thing is another thing that I can let go of is the story that I have a busy mind and meditation is particularly challenging for my personality. I'm especially not good at it. It's that specialness from A Course in Miracles. Like I'm at a disadvantage somehow and it's not my fault. Instead of taking responsibility and ownership over it and letting that story go. And like just a couple of things have come into my awareness this week that remind me that it is a discipline and it is a training. And I'm like letting myself off the hook of that when I tell myself the story that I'm just not good at it or I'm just not built for it.
Mm-hmm.
So taking back that responsibility, taking back my power, and just rolling up my sleeves and getting in there with willingness to have a quiet mind and, peace to my mind, let all my thoughts be still. And so letting that story go, long story short, letting that story go that I'm just not cut out for it or I'm just not good at it or whatever, I think is one thing that will help me. And then continuing to look for those mindful moments like the ones I outlined earlier with my pets, opportunities to just be fully present with what I'm doing instead of multitasking.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that's a big one for me. And I am finding that I'm starting to settle and acclimate to our transient lifestyle, which was a little discombobulating at first. And I was feeling kind of unmoored and just finding it difficult to get into any kind of like routines or whatever. I was just unsettled. And I'm finally starting to acclimate to that lifestyle. So just staying like open to opportunities to play and have fun and not be so focused on what's next, where are we going next, planning my week, writing out my schedule, writing out my tasks for the week, like being sure to carve out time for those fun things. Like I told you all earlier, I'm doing that little ice dye project, my little fun creative things or play dates or whatever. Just being sure to incorporate that into life. So I think that's it.
That's awesome.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Yeah. So any final thoughts about, there's no really perfect timeline, right, to any of this. And so we just get to every minute. So I have this great quote. Every second we get a second chance. So if you feel like you're not where you think you should be, just decide in the next second to do what it is you say you want to do, right? Who you want to be, how you want to show up, all that. Yeah. So I tried to be really creative with my little Post-its. So the first one is I just wrote down our four, I'm sorry that Drusilla's not here. This would have been really fun to see what she had.
Yeah.
We can do it next time. Yeah. So these were I just put it down into a couple of words: awe, authentic, deep connection, wholeness, and be present. And then I love, okay. Oh yeah. It was, Amanda, you said, grow your roots. Look at that.
Hilarious.
Yeah. And Melissa said, say yes.
Yes.
Yeah. We're just breaking it down. And Morgan, I put willingness to be still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then mine was take good care of myself. Self-cares. Yeah, that's really what it's all about, I think, for me. Yeah. So wherever you are with your intentions, you're exactly where you need to be. So just meet yourself with compassion. Celebrate what's working always first. Always celebrate what's working first. And then gently release what's not. There's no need to beat ourselves up about anything because, the universe is always offering new possibilities, new opportunities, and every moment is a fresh start for us, right? Every moment. So keep choosing grace, keep choosing hope, and maybe a little magic, a miracle, changing our perspective from fear to love is a miracle. That's when miracles happen. So just keep working towards that. So thank you for joining us and keep laughing, loving, and choosing grace as you move through the second half of the year. It's crazy that I'm saying that, right? So, yeah. And so, just remember that your transformation is our greatest joy, and we can't wait to connect with you soon. So reach out. Let us know how you think about this, like this episode. Yeah, we would love to hear from you. So have a really beautiful rest of your day.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.